Who you side with, yeah, that's who you tied with. Who you ride with, yeah, that's who you die.
Yo, what is good? It is Monday afternoon. It's a little past the morning. I stayed up last night. I didn't go to sleep until about 6:30 this morning. It's about noon right now, 12:40. I didn't get a lot of sleep. Needless to say, I'm not a daytime sleeper. I like to move around in the daytime, but I stayed up till about 6:30 last night. Today, I don't know how to phrase it. It's a pretty big day in the world. They are laying the queen to rest. So I was interested. I am a big scholar in worldly events. I mean, it could be a championship game. It could be a college volleyball championship. I'm going to be interested in because that's going in the record books. Anything that goes in the record books, I'm kind of interested in it. So last night, that was a big day. I mean, 70 years to reign over, your territory, and now to be put to rest. And man, you see how many people were out just to see the car drive by or see the casket, and to be able to touch that many lives. I mean, whether good or bad, there's theories out there. We don't use the C word here, but that led me to today's topic because I was tired and I was like, we did church yesterday, had a big old Sunday night dinner, and then I stayed up and then didn't get my rest, and now I'm contemplating. Literally, it's too late for me to start doing some chores. So now I'm thinking like, man, I want to go play around the golf, but got real life. So you got real life things to do. So anyway, that kind of led me to my topic today: critical thinking. For my thinkers out there, be a thinker, not a stinker. Heard that from a good guy a long time ago. Anyway, critical thinking is something that I've been doing as a child. So I think this is one of the things that you have to adapt yourself or teach yourself how to do it. It just so happens that I've been doing it pretty much my whole life. As a little kid, and I say little kid, and I can remember back to preschool, 4 years old, easily. Somebody told me that people can't remember memories past 7. Just because your brain works that way doesn't mean mine does. I remember very vivid images, not just somebody told me. I remember being alone, so nobody could have told me these ideas. But as a little kid, maybe about 5 years old, I remember I started having a little thing with the man in the mirror. My brain didn't register that an object can be formed and then it can, be shined up, or however the process of glass works, where you can create this thing, and now it just reflects the image of whatever it sees from whatever angle it sees. Mirrors to me as a kid, they defied logic because I was a kid. I didn't really have logic. Shortly after that, I want to say it was like first grade, my shadow became the next. I can't get away from this thing. I really thought it was like a form of me that was alive that I just couldn't figure out why my shadow was with me everywhere I went. Getting to about fourth grade is when I realized I didn't understand that. I live in North America, so I play basketball in North America like Jordan plays basketball, and he hangs in the sky, and he floats and does all these things. I couldn't fathom in fourth grade how we were able to play basketball and shoot up, because I used to shoot like this. I used to have this big floater jump shot, just throw it straight up. Didn't have the strength to, get that wrist action, so I just throw it up. Didn't understand how my floater jump shot could just stay in the air and then just come down. But then I thought about it. People in Australia, how they shoot their jump shots? Because they're on the bottom of the globe, and if gravity is keeping them there, how do they get the floater if gravity is holding them there? Because, I feel like gravity, we on top, so we just here so we can shoot the floater. But if they're on the bottom, how? So, there was a lot of things, and there was a lot of things, because one of the things that I used to say as a kid was, why do we travel on airplanes when we could just get in a hot air balloon and wait for our destination to come to us? Some destinations may take longer, just like in an airplane, right? But, I think that may be a safer form of travel if you just go straight up and just stay there and then wait for the globe to rotate, and then when your destination gets there, just let the air just come right on down. Seems like it would make sense. But That's because as a child, I was critically thinking about things that I didn't understand. Now, to this day, because I'm still a critical thinker, again, we don't use the C word here. There are theories. I'm a believer that the world may not be a round, perfectly spherical object as we were taught. Not only as we were taught, as we were showed. Someone will hear that and say, well, yeah, Neil deGrasse Tyson, he already said that the earth is pear-shaped. And I could stand behind that if you got a picture of it. So you can't tell me that because we're rotating, we kind of shrunk at the top and we're wobbly and we're bigger at the bottom. But then when I look at every picture that I've ever seen of the world, it's a perfectly round sphere. That's way more round than that. It's perfectly round. And I get it, it's spinning and it's spinning. But he said it's kind of oval shaped or pear shaped. We've never seen this image. Then you start looking at maps and you find out that one NASA picture, the United States is this big, and then another NASA picture, the United States is this big. They're not even getting the sizes right. What are they faking? What are they hiding? I mean, now, if every picture that we've ever seen of the United States had the exact same, of the world, had the exact same sizes, and it always measured up, but sometimes continents are further away than others, sometimes places are small, and sometimes they're big. Yeah, why don't you guys get that right and then tell me to believe you? Because as long as you're giving me information that doesn't add up, I'm not going to believe you. Just because your name is Neil deGrasse Tyson, just because your name is Albert Einstein, I mean, I still don't understand gravity. In the seventh grade, I did an experiment to disprove gravity. I was told that I was wrong. We were taught the theory of relativity. I believe that's when they dropped the apples from way up top. I wasn't allowed to go way up top, but what I did was I got a chair and stood in the middle of the classroom. I did this experiment because I didn't prepare myself for whatever experiment I was supposed to do. So last minute thinking, this is what I thought of. Seventh grade, I never forget it. I reached in my backpack, I had a baseball and some paper. So I said, I'm going to challenge the theory of relativity in the seventh grade. So I grabbed the paper, I grabbed the baseball. I went and stood on the chair, and I dropped them both at the same time. Needless to say, the baseball hit first. Teacher says, well, that's because one is round and one is flat, so you got air that's going to push one up. I said, but in gravity, you guys told us that they both fall at the same speed. He said, yeah, but I mean, you know, this is a real life thing. If you have something flat versus something like a dart or a ball, it's common sense. Okay, kid thinking. I crumbled up my paper into a little ball. Now they're both the same shape. And I dropped them. The baseball still fell first. And he just disproved me. He didn't say, well, that, you know, maybe, I don't know. He just said, no, it doesn't work that way. Go back to your desk. I don't even remember what my grade was on it, but in my brain, because he did not disprove me, I was a little bit right. As a seventh grader. So again, give me the knowledge. I'll look into it. And if I'm not right, I'm not glued to my theories. I'm not glued to the thoughts that I have. I don't believe that, oh, Jesus Christ was born in the Middle Eastern, so maybe he wasn't a white man. But if you show me a picture of Jesus Christ being Jesus Christ and he's a white man, hey, Jesus was a white man. I'll buy it. But, and you know, that's kind of funny because critical thinking is the whole idea here. And it just kind of bothers me that, you know, sometimes I get into little things. And again, this is still for creatives. This is still for the creative artists out there because you take a look at Disney, and Disney just, you know, one of their greatest movies, and, you know, it did millions of dollars. Little Mermaid, under the sea. Under the sea. Little Mermaid is back. And she's black. Ruffle some scales. Yeah, she ruffled some scales, some feathers, some skin. Boy, people are going crazy over this. So here's the thing. A mermaid, we have improved in real life that mermaids exist. If a mermaid existed, chances are, because it's in the ocean, it might be like gray, silver, green, colors of things that are in the ocean. Maybe they are black and white like us people, but us people like a orca whale, that's black and white. Us people, we're not black, we're not white. So it's hard to believe that you'd have some sea creatures with our skin colors. But because Ariel was originally made to be a little white girl, woman, I don't know, she had to be a woman because she was about to get that back broke at the end, right? So she had to be a woman. We hope she was a woman, because that was definitely a man. He was grown. That was a grown man. So anyway, Disney theories. Anyway, so Ariel is back. She's black, and people are giving flack. So I don't have a problem with that. I mean, hey, if because they're saying that Disney's being lazy by doing the woke stuff. And I'm gonna tell you this, I'm the first one. I'm awake. I woke up a long time ago. I've been awake for a few years now. So if you run around talking about you woke, you still got some digging to do. You still got some theories that you need to cross before getting to being awake. Anyway, so I'm not big on woke culture. I'm big on values. If it has values, I can stand by it. Whether racism plays a part in there, if you're using racism with values, man, I stand for it. If you're just using it as a tool, especially now we're in this political climate where everything is used as a tool, I don't stand by it. But I will say, one, every time you take a white movie and insert a black person as a main character, just look at Rogue One. That dude wasn't even a main character. He was just like somebody in the movie, but he had a role of significance, and people lost their shits. I guess the stormtroopers wear white, so they're supposed to be white on the inside. I don't know. But you put a black person in a white person movie when they're not supposed to be there, people get pissed off. But then I thought about things like The Passion of Christ, Cleopatra, the Ten Commandments, Noah. Let's be critical thinkers. Even when we do our writing, let's believe that our audience are critical thinkers. That's why I talk about doing research. That's why I talk about paying attention to detail. All the things I talk about, they have a worldly presence, but if you apply them in your world of creativity, I promise you, we'll get to better places through being creative. Now, as for this other crap, hey, let's just all be people with common sense. Let's be critical thinkers, and let's look beyond the bullshit. Come on, man. Let's get this shit together fast.
This song just a form of repentance. I promise I's pure in every word and every sentence. And I don't even care if they like shit. Get it? I did it for Jehovah, yeah, cause he my only witness, huh? Forgive us for we know not what we do. And we hear so much that we don't know what is true. I think I heard a voice but can't tell if it's you.